Keeping her going.
All right, guys. Good night. Happy Sunday night, y'all. It's Captain Dylan Hubbard at Hubbard's Marina coming to you with a special live stream show tonight. We've got the whole crew, or at least part of the crew, in here talking fishing tonight. And it's going to be a little colorful, maybe not so kid friendly tonight, but it's going to be a good time. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. Normally, we give it a few minutes before we start the video, but tonight it is just that good. I can't hold you away from this. So it is Sunday night, April 19th at 8:28 p.m. And we're gonna go ahead and start the video a little early tonight. Let's see. There we go. How you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. Real quick, we're gonna introduce everybody. First of all, we've got Will here. How you doing, Will?
Really good, man. Glad to see you guys up here in North Carolina.
There he is. And what about Gino? How you doing, man?
Hey guys, tuning in from St. Petersburg.
And we've got Jason, but his better half is gonna introduce him.
Jason will be back in just a moment.
And we got Captain Frank.
That was classic.
Nice introduction, Captain Frank. He's got his white sunglasses. He's ready.
That's for all the haters.
We got Richie Golis. How you doing, Richie?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing good.
We got Captain Sal. What's up, Sal?
Palm Harbor.
And most importantly, we've got Robbio, better known as Rob.
Robbio.
Oh man, he looks good.
He's looking the part.
And we're on. We're live. It's working right now. I was a little worried about this working or not tonight, and it seems to be pulling it off fine.
Robbio, is that a dungeon that you're in there?
Hello, brother.
Jason.
What kind of a dungeon is that you're in?
I'm in the doghouse.
Yeah.
He can't believe it's not butter.
You got some cuffs. You got some cuffs in there.
Hold on.
All right, so we're gonna get started here. Again, this is our Sunday night live stream show. Normally, it's just me talking about what we've been catching, what we're planning to catch, what we've got coming up. But since we don't have any trips going on right now, we are closed until hopefully May 1st. That's when we're planning to reopen. So until that time, we thought this would be an interesting idea to do the live show like this. Make it interactive to where everybody can get involved, and it gives us a chance to hang out with each other. Since we're all in quarantine, we haven't hung out with each other as well. So it's going to be an interesting live show tonight. We're going to still try to take questions, so feel free to text your questions. Normally, I have that in the upper right-hand corner, but because of the interesting layout today, we don't have it in the upper right-hand corner. The number to text to send your question in is 727-393-1947. So text that number. That's how you submit your questions. Oh, it is. It is still in the upper right-hand corner of the video. Look at that. So text your questions to that phone number, and we'll get to your questions. But if we're carrying on telling stories, we might not get to a ton of questions tonight, but I'll do the best I can to get in there. And there he is. Dusty, what's up, man?
Sir.
Hey!
And he's gone.
Here we go.
It looked like he was in America.
He was. All right, so right now we don't have any questions popped up yet, but we're gonna get there. So real quick before we get started with the questions, since we don't have any to start, let's go around and talk about what we've all been doing to stay busy. I know, Will, you've been catching fish. What have you been doing?
Like I said, I'm up here in North Carolina, and we've been just on a decent sized property where we can mess around a lot, and then there's a couple of really good lakes to go fishing at nearby, and we went catfishing today and had a great day. Got a couple of over 10-pound blue catfish and a 25+ pound flathead catfish. That's the first flathead catfish we caught since we've been here.
That's awesome.
The
man.
elusive.
What have you been catching them catfish?
Fought so hard. I thought I was going to lose him like 10 times.
What have you been catching them on?
Mainly shad, cut shad. We found a spot where we can go cast at a shad every time. And it's hard to get a shad, but I can't even get this to show up right. But
we can pull it up. I can
pull it up. But we got a big one today, and we've been losing them every time. Like we weren't prepared for them, but this time we finally got the big one that bid.
Oh, you got the big girl.
We're using like 20-pound test maybe, and today I was like, dude, should we go to Walmart and get some heavier line? And we don't even feel like going in Walmart here, so we were like, no, we'll just stick with the 20-pound test we got. And the one we got today, we want to put out as many rods as we can, so we got it on the worst rod possible. And luckily got him in. And my brother put it out, but the fish bit it, and I was like, dude, you want to fight him? He's like, no, you take it. And it ended up being the big one. And got him to the boat, and he ran away. Carol's got a good video of it. We tried to net him, he got away, and then got him back to the boat like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes later, and then got him the second time.
Nice. So Will's been staying busy fishing freshwater for catfish. That's pretty cool. How about you, Gino? What have you been doing to stay busy?
Watching a lot of fishing shows, that's for sure. Been on lockdown, so trying to keep it real and buying some rigs. I've definitely got some good rigs tied and ready to go.
Ready to rock and roll.
Right now.
Ready to open back up.
Ready to go.
Jason, what about you, buddy?
Well, so in order to avoid the grocery stores, I've been just shopping offshore. I've been fishing, I think 4 times in the past week and a half, going out with my buddy Bueno, and just getting on the mango bite, actually getting them schooled up to the surface. We were catching with flat lines, just, half-cut sardines, just chumming them up, and real active bite. The kingfish bite's almost been automatic. I mean, we throw the cast net in the morning on the tripod, we get a bunch of different sardines, but just using a sabiki and getting a nice sized Spanish sardine, putting it on a flat line, when I first get to a spot on a small boat, so I like to do, and that thing would go off in 15 seconds. So the kingfish bite's been unreal. All those cruise ships that were out there for like weeks, we were fishing the cruise ships thinking pelagics. The tuna bite's been great. The kingfish have been down there, cobia. I don't want to talk about the cobia that got broke off, but that happened.
Oh, tell us the story.
And then just straight meat fishing, just getting our gray snapper and getting just out there, just trying to stay dialed in. So gonna go out there 4 times next week, hopefully, or this week, and just fishing as much as possible. Just trying to stay in tune.
So Jason just handled our fishing update for the night. That was pretty good. I like it. So the kingfish are biting, the tuna are biting. I heard a lot of people are catching those tuna around like 80, 90, 100 foot of water around those cruise ships.
So we got our tuna at about 85 feet of water. Sunrise bite because last week, 2 weeks ago, that full moon was just ridiculous. The full moon was sunrise, or you wouldn't really get them unless you got a lucky one during the day. But prior to that, and this new moon coming up, the tuna bite might be later. I love Dylan's smile. But it's been in closer, too. It's been shallow water. Like, a lot of the pelagics are in, like, 45, 50 feet of water. That's where we're seeing the kingfish and, tuna around there. But, again, around sunrise. But the mangrove bite has been, it's a tricky game. It's a fun game, with just a lightly weighted jig head. You're free lining, whatever bait you have. What I prefer is to chum with dead shrimp, and then to use, sardines that you just caught, that you just threw the net on, but cut them in half, and you just free line a jig head or a small weight, kind of knocker rig style. And right when you feel that bite, you gotta, be ready to act and flick it over and catch them because they're 10, 15 feet beneath the water. And
That's
you gotta
awesome.
go light. You gotta go like catfish style, weight on your leader. So
Chumming the
15,
mangroves
20
up.
pounds. Huh?
Chumming the mangroves up to the surface, huh?
Oh, it's fun, man. It was a blast. It's like it's just kind of East Coast style, just being able to get them up top and catch them on little spinning rods, real close to the surface. 15 feet down, it's a blast. And I found that I've always thought this, but women make better snapper fishermen than men because they have patience. the first hit of Manfield is like, oh, I gotta crank it, and he gone. But a woman be like, I think I've got a bite. I'm like, I think you do too. Maybe close the bail and reel. And sure enough, they slapped him. So Sasha's not here right now, so we have to bring entertainment on the boat, if you will.
There it is. Well, that's pretty cool, man. Good to hear. I'm glad you guys are catching fish and having fun. Now, we've heard from Will, and Will is going to the bathroom for the 17th time since we started this video. And
Can't go fishing, bro.
Oh, but we got Kara right there. Kara, step into the spotlight.
there you go. How about you, Frank? What have you been up to, man? Drinking?
Oh, hey, what's going on, Dylan?
How you been doing, man? What have you been up to?
Well, I for the first time in a long time, I actually went and fished inshore off a dock here at the Imperial Point area in Largo, and brought a bunch of kids out fishing. They all got to catch something. We caught some sail cats, and we got some mangrove snappers, some trout. It was a night fishing trip. We started last night at about 8:30 and had a really good time. They got some, a little pinfish. Just kept some kids busy. It was fun. And then I went offshore last week with Kylie and some other friends, and we went out and fished about 130 feet of water. And we got some really nice red groupers, some 30 inchers, about 15 pounds, maybe pushing 18, but there were some really, really nice red groupers in that zone. Got a few red snappers too, and a couple mangoes here and there, some lanes and things like that. But we did it 2 days in a row. We went out and had such a good time that the guy that had the boat said he wanted to go out again. We went right back out there and had a good time.
That's awesome, man. So you've been catching fish too?
I've gotten out 3 times, basically 2 times on a boat and once on a dock. And of course, the offshore fishing is always more fun to me than the dock fishing. But all the kids, I think it was 8 kids or so, and every one of them caught a fish. So
that's important. Well, that's cool. We got a bunch of people in here now, so that's awesome. How about you, Garrett? What have you been up to, buddy?
Sadly, Captain Insano shows no mercy.
See that.
What up, boy?
Virtual school and the kids, and just hanging at the house.
Staying busy.
No mercy.
Don't.
James Exotic.
Fishing this week though.
James Exotic.
Take the kids up there.
Oh, guys, I invited James Exotic.
It is total mayhem now.
I missed that. I was saying hi to Seabass.
We muted Seabass because he was being too loud.
maybe you should wait your turn, Jason.
There's
You
James
serious?
Exotic.
You serious, Clark?
This is a total meltdown. I'm not in control of this anymore.
Clark.
I'll be quiet.
Yeah, James.
It makes it more fun. I was wondering why I couldn't hear you guys.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with questions since it's totally devolved. First question is more of a statement, and it is simply, nice beard, Will. You look Amish.
He's churning that butter.
So another question is, how do I avoid breaking my line off if it's rated for 18 pounds and my fish that I'm catching is 20 plus pounds? I'm going to let you take that one, Will.
I take that one as
Check your drag.
you got to let that fish run around a little bit. Yeah. And sometimes you don't, but there is a drag setting on your reel.
Yeah, you don't want to let it go.
Run around a little bit. You don't bring him right in. You don't reel him right in and lift him out of the water.
It's not a winch.
Garrett, you have something to add there?
You got one?
Hold on. You got.
I can't hear it.
All right, what's happening?
Who's that child?
Mikey.
Must be Mikey.
I can't even hear a thing.
What about MC?
I'm trying to.
That's the sound of a kid getting beaten.
It's about to be. It's about
He's
to be.
getting taught.
So the answer to the question is simply as to avoid breaking your line off, you want to just back down that drag. You want to let that fish run. Even if your line's rated towards 10-pound tests, you can still land a 50-pound fish as long as you have that drag set properly. If you have your drag locked down, you're going to break off the fish every time. So back off your drag a little bit, let that fish run. You'll have a chance to catch them. Unless you're fishing around structure like a dock, a bridge, a jetty, then you're just going to need heavier line so you can crank down that drag and land that fish. We did have a few other people pop in here, so we're going to introduce those people before we move forward. One being old Mike Lee. I don't know if his video's working though.
He just went dark on us.
Yeah, he's froze up on me.
Just the lighting. It's the lighting.
All right, we're gonna try the next one. We've got James Exotic here.
Who's
What's
borrowed
up?
from Garrett's look, going no shirt prison style.
He will be in prison in any.
Grass got a hat on.
He doesn't have a tiger, but he's got the tattoo.
I think he's having. I think he has chickens.
Look at his chops.
That's what I'm saying. I think he might be doing it with the chickens.
Oh my God.
What you got there?
Thanks
Oh
for
my God.
rough.
Oh, monkey.
There's a barber.
Who cut your hair?
Finally came
Wow.
Oh, the back. Let's see the back.
Those
Monkey,
hairs-
let's see that
those
back.
hairs
Oh,
belong
there it
all
is.
Let's see it.
Oh,
his
I'm
wife
so
really
glad.
likes that. His wife
Wow,
is-
that looks
That's
like
what
Father
happens
of the
when
Year
the
material right
barbershop's
there.
closed.
What in the world happened to your hair?
No, what he told me is he said it's invigorated him and his wife's relationship.
Amber loves them triangles.
allowing him to explore.
Let's get a photo.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we never gave him a chance to introduce himself. Monkey, James, go ahead, buddy.
I really don't know what to say.
Well,
Really don't. I mean, the haircut, guys, that's after like 2 weeks of watching Tiger King. No. That's about the only haircut I could kind of give myself without
All the
going
barbershops are closed.
You like balls all over you too?
I'm about to go black like Mike.
well, we've also got Seabass here. Let's see if Seabass can make himself appear. There he is.
There's that.
Whoa!
Jesus, buddy. What are you out mowing the
I
lawn?
finally got on here. What up?
They say the
Yeah, they're
camera
telling
can't
ghost
stand
stories?
pounds.
Yeah.
You got a black eye?
Seabass, where's the mask at? You have that awesome mask.
Yeah, you want to see it?
Yeah.
Look, you got
Everybody
spots.
wants to see your awesome coronavirus mask.
So, I just had a newborn, so I'm not allowed in the house right now, but I'll show you guys if I can.
Whoa!
My Hubbard's mask with a Florida fisherman too.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah,
You like that,
keep
man.
that on.
Yeah, who said that?
I kind of want you to answer Garrett's question. Did you get hit in the eye?
No, I didn't get hit in the eye. I don't think so.
Kenny.
All right, it's just the lighting then.
He just fell down. He fell down, guys. The door hit. The door
We'll
hit
be
him.
making these for all our regulars.
Sausage is on.
Just kidding, dude.
All right, so we're gonna get.
Come here.
We're gonna
This
get
dog's
to.
got Sasha's panties. Hey, Jackson, come here.
That's it.
We're gonna get to Rob now. Rob, how you doing, buddy? What are you doing to stay busy?
Jackson, come
Yeah, you see this?
Robbio.
Robbio.
Come here.
It's,
Look at that hair.
It's the boat that I work on.
Is Jason at Will's house?
This is just the Jimmy Neutron look.
And,
Jimmy Neutron look.
right, dude, I don't have a coronavirus.
All right, Seabass. There we go. Now we can hear you. What were you saying?
Nothing.
No, you were saying something.
Bro, you were just saying something.
You said something, Rob. We heard you say something.
Oh, I don't know. I just, the wife was chiming in, so I was like, hey, it's a fishing show.
So epic.
That is what I heard.
Here we go.
This is what we call the Jimmy Neutron look.
Nice, Frank.
The mad genius here.
Frank, you're just
Jimmy
jealous,
Neutron.
man. You're
Right
just
here.
jealous.
Jimmy Neutron.
Get off my man.
Hey, hey, Frank, I got a bait for you, though, man.
What's that?
Please.
What the hell is that?
Nice.
Oh, that's kind of like a ball jig, huh? Some kind?
Yeah, big ball jig. It's like
Dude, Frank couldn't catch a grunt on that. In 1,000 years.
Damn right. You're right. Couldn't. I'd be catching a hogfish on it.
I love you.
Oh my goodness. This is quite the show, let me tell you. This is pretty much how I imagined it would go.
Seamlessly.
All right, so let's get to the next question. Next question is, perhaps, are you considering opening up? Are you considering opening up any sooner than May 1st? Right now, May 1st is still our expected first day of operation, hopefully. But we're kind of waiting to see how it all shakes out. If the governor extends the stay-at-home order, if social distancing is extended, if there's a lot of different factors that could perhaps delay our open date. But we're hoping, praying, planning on May 1st, and until we hear differently, we're still going to plan on May 1st. So that's what we're planning on and hoping for, and we'll see what happens with that open date. But May 1st is our planned open date still.
Call him Shorty.
Next question was about the new D hookers. Are the new D hookers in stock? And yes, the new D hookers are in stock. Now, Will, you got to play with the new D hookers. Did you like them? Will and Jason.
Yeah, the new D hookers are very, very similar to the old D hookers that they quit making. And
He didn't use it.
Jason, there's one way to use them and one way to use them wrong, and Jason hasn't quite figured it out yet, as you guys know. And he's working on it, though. He's probably been practicing during this off time.
All right. Yeah.
Jason,
whoa,
have you?
Sasha, whoa.
What
I'm
the heck?
sorry, you're saying something about D-hookers, and I obviously got a D-hooker.
Jason, have you been practicing how to gaff a fish during this off time? I know you gaffed yourself.
I have. I have kingfish on a shorter gaff. I thought that was a thing of the past. The last fish did not. All right, I don't want to bring that
No,
up.
wait, Jason, he's talking about your gaff in your arm. The gaff in your arm.
Jason, you gaffed yourself.
Oh, okay. So one of our, great crew left a gaff on top of the other gaff on the port side of the Florida. So when I reached up to grab said gaff to get the line, Dickie, the other one slid down and just stuck into my arm. And it was hanging off the boat. And this one guy was like, "Oh, at least it didn't come out of your paycheck." I'm like, "No, it floats. It'd be fine if it was off the boat, but it's in my arm." And I pulled it out, and I told Dusty the story, and he said verbatim, he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw that the other day that someone put that up there." I'm like, "Oh, that's neat." Like, you saw it was laid incorrectly and saw it and didn't move the shit. But I gaffed myself. Yeah.
So let's blame Hubbard's, but Jason gaffed himself.
So you're trying.
I'm not blaming Hubbard's. I'm just shouting out to our fantastic crew, very thorough, and whoever put that gaff on top of the second one, John Boy.
Let's blame Captain Frank. Blame Captain Frank, but
it ain't Frank. It was John Boy. Frank hasn't grabbed a gaff in 7 years probably. So. It definitely wasn't.
I guess that's why my percentage is so high.
Yeah, you just don't want to screw it up anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know that your eyesight's been bothering you. It's just going, That's why it's got those white sunglasses, guys. They're bifocal coastal lenses. Those things are awesome.
You don't just find those on any bench.
You can't just find those on eBay. But to answer your question, Dylan, the new getters, the new fish getters are on point. Solid. They seem more solid than the Bakers, and yeah, it's a good tool, good piece of equipment. It's a little heavier.
Good getters.
So,
let's get back to it.
To answer the question, yes, we do have the new D-hookers in stock. May 1st, when we open up the tackle shop, we will have those new D-hookers in the office. And Barracuda Tackle has released them. We do have them in stock, and as soon as we're open, we'll have plenty of them.
Wow.
Ready for
Jason,
sale.
you ready to go?
And we're excited about that. And
Nah, she
let's
kind of
see.
likes it.
Let's see the next question here. What? The next question is the 12-hour extreme good to what are these signs you guys keep
Johnson,
making?
I got your hooker.
These signs are impressive.
I don't think I'm
Patty
supposed to
Davis
have
is
hookers.
gone. She'll be back. Patty will be back.
Not everywhere, Rob. But
There
pretty,
he is.
Oh, this is so bad. All right. Let's see here. The next question
The
is
highest viewership ever.
the next question is the 12-hour extreme good to go yet? Well, the 12-hour extreme is very, very close. So the Coast Guard person who's been working on that inspection, that float, what do they call it? I can't. Stability letter is what they took it home. So that office closed. So the stability letter is being worked on at home by someone in the Coast Guard MSO office in Washington, D.C. And what happened was the original boat builder, Metal Shark, actually calculated the figures incorrectly with a boat without any fuel, any ice, any water. So we had to pay a naval architect to redo the drawings, redo the calculations, and we submitted those. So the person working from home on the figures has it, and they should be okaying it. We're pretty confident, almost guaranteeing that this boat should be ready by the time we open back up May 1st. So that's the goal. Those new plans were very expensive and very timely, and we got those submitted about a week and a half ago. So she should be finishing all those calculations here shortly, and we should have the Flying Hub 2 back in operation in time for May 1st. So good question. Next question.
I think any new fishing trip should be extreme anyway, because we're extremely ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. Extremely ready to go fishing. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see here.
I can block Rich Goals' face on here. Tired of it.
Rich, why would we block Captain Rich Goals? This is Captain Rich right here. Why would we block him?
Oh no, I got it mixed up.
Rich, are you there? He's there.
All you guys.
I guarantee you get laughed at so hard.
All right, Seabass is getting muted. He's talking too much.
He was just complaining that you just muted him. He wants to be heard. The best.
All right, let's see here. Another question is, do you ever do a 12-hour extreme overnight trip on the Flying Hub 2 for Mangrove Snapper?
That would be too extreme.
Rich, I'll let you take that one, buddy.
We haven't done it, Dylan.
It's Chaz.
I think Garrett and everyone were still working out the logistics of fuel and everything and how to run those. The turnaround.
And that's the biggest question right now is the turnaround in fuel, because it's a big problem with the Flying Hub 2 trying to get it fueled back up for the next day. So a 12-hour night snapper would be difficult because we wouldn't be able to run a trip the next day as well. So 12-hour trips are great during red snapper season on the Flying Hub 2 back to back during the day, but at night, if we ran one all day and then all night and then all day, that boat wouldn't have time to fuel in between trips. So that's That's why we haven't run the 12-hour night snapper trips on the Flying Hub 2 as of yet. But that boat is set up for night fishing, and it can be privately chartered for night fishing. It stops us from doing a 12-hour trip the day before or the day after. So that's why they're not in our schedule. But we do have the 12-hour night snappers on the Friendly, and we do catch quite a bit of fish on there, right, Gino? I know you work that trip a lot.
Yes, it is a good trip. We've actually caught some really good snapper on that trip. It's a great overnight trip. You're ready to be tired the next morning, and if anybody's complaining about it, don't worry. It's okay. We've got some great fish. A lot of stuff you don't see during the daytime, and that's the most important thing. It works well. We know that's what they're designed to do. So we'll definitely dig at that. You definitely jump on that as soon as possible.
Alrighty then. So let's see here. So the next question is, when will your office be open again to schedule trips? So right now we are opening the office every Thursday. So every Thursday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., our office is open on the phones to schedule trips. So if you want to call us and schedule a trip, you get an opportunity to do that every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So the next question is, Dylan, where did you get the haircut? And it's not funny. Whoever laughed at that is in trouble.
I think there were 4 or 5 of us.
Yeah.
Not laughing.
Poor, but
My haircut is nice right now.
he unmuted me.
Really?
I'm bringing back the if any of you guys knew me when I was younger working on the boats, I had an afro, because when I cut my hair or don't cut my hair, the afro grows out. So right now, thanks to quarantine, the afro is coming back. It's going to be a little gray in the front, but it's coming back right now.
Hey, Dylan, how many people are tuned in right now?
Right now, we have a total of 384. 384.
Dude, you know what you need to do, D?
What?
You need to just grow out the gray hairs. Just grow the gray hairs.
Just grow the gray hairs? I'm working on it.
There's that first breakwater on your forehead. Is that like razor burn?
Just
grow the hairs. Yeah, just grow that.
Shave your head.
That's from dealing with you guys. That's what that's from. And
sorry.
Smokey.
Don't talk that way to Emily.
This is a big curl.
I knew I shouldn't have answered that question.
Just leave the grays.
This is a good question here. In what ways? This is really a question for everybody.
Yeah, I've been working like 2.5 weeks.
Who in the world is talking right now? All right, so next question is, in what
Look
ways...
at Richie's got a wheeling chair. He wheels around the house right now.
What is he doing?
He's on his grandma's.
He's doing a spin.
All right, back to it, D.
All right, so the next question is... Stop fire. In what ways, if any, are the captains competitive with each other? Do you think the captains are competitive with each other? In my opinion,
Take it over.
in my opinion, I'll take it. First of all, I think everybody is a little bit inertly competitive in the fact that they just want to make sure that everybody has the best experience, and they want to make sure that everybody has the best experience when they go out on a trip with them. Now, are they super competitive with each other? Maybe to a small degree, but I think for the most part, they're more competitive with just the fact they're trying to make sure everybody has a good time. But I'll let Frank field that one first.
I'll answer that one. Dylan.
Told you, Frank.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah. So,
Captain Hogfish.
It's exactly that you're competitive with other guys as much as you are competitive with yourself. You just want to have a a better trip than the last one, no matter what. Even, you know, if you had a trip where you got 12 fish, you want the next trip to have 12. You have a trip where you get 4, you want to get 20 time. You know, and it's, I think you're more competitive with yourself. I think all the guys, most of the captains that work for Hubbards, we all work with each other to try to make sure we all have good days. And I mean, I don't think we have any telling each other. You know, we all try to have just tell each other how we're doing it, and you know what depths, and you know we just want to have a better. Like you, Dylan, we want to have a great trip, make sure everyone has a good time. But you always try to think back on the your bad trips that you had. You know, and you more or less you compete with yourself and your own thoughts. At the end of the day, you know, like what could I have done differently? You know, and most of the time the answer is, you know, you can't. You just don't know. You can have the greatest day ever in 50 feet of water, and then you can go out there the next trip to 50 feet of water and have the worst day, and you shoot out the 100 feet or try something different, and you die out there too. And it sometimes you could have just stayed in the 50 foot, and it could have just turned around. You just never know. So I mean, you're only competing with you in your own head, you know, with yourself. To be honest with you, that's how I feel about it.
Good answer. How about you, Garrett? What do you feel?
I think Frank was very spot on with that. I mean, of course, you know, you are competing with yourself. You're just as good as your last trip, and you know, if there's a guy doing the same exact thing and you're going out there and you're doing the same exact thing, of course you want to do better than them. But at the end of the day, it's about the customers and making sure they have a good time and they're happy. And that's what it's all about. As long as the people are happy, I'm happy.
There you go. Good answer as well. How about you, Sal? What do you think?
Absolutely. It's all about the customer. Keeping the customer happy is our main goal. And you know, sometimes we can't get on the fish. Sometimes the fish are there and they're not biting. So, you know, we're fishermen. We're not magicians.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
I do want to. I'd like to enter or jump in and just say, I've been fishing with you guys for a long time. As you guys know, my sister worked with you guys for a long time, so you know I kind of got into deep sea fishing through the plethora of all you guys. But my sister said that you know, just getting out and whether it, you know, as Captain Frank said, getting out in the water, whether you catch or not catch, it's something that you endow as a human, you know, being out on the water and things like that. So
we're all humans, Gene.
You know, good day or a bad day, take an ass.
All right. What about you, James Exotic? What do you think about that question? Being as though you're a captain at Hubbard's Marina, but you're also a captain other places as well. What do you feel about that question?
I didn't even listen to the whole thing.
What was
it? It was about fishing, wasn't it?
Amber Exotic. Let's ask Amber Exotic what she thinks.
Amber. She's not closed right now. So.
I think the question was, do triangle mutton chops catch more fish?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have a good time, Captain Garrett, that's where you go, right there. Is that what we're looking for?
Captain Garrett put his shirt on. You took it off.
Yeah, before the show started, he was shirtless. It was a lot better. All right, so the next question, which I think is a really good one, we might have to take this one at a time, is name one thing that Dylan does all the time that irritates everybody the most.
Sasha's up.
Call him. Keep calling over and over and over again.
Dylan.
All right, one at a time. Everybody calm down. We're going to let Sasha go first.
You say huge pile of fish like way too many times in the same segment.
Sasha, dude, stop it. You just called him out.
All right, Will, go ahead.
That was way too deep.
Go ahead, Will.
Give me a little sugar. I love
watching your videos.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
I say it's will lift up high when you pull on the gangway. And I pretend like I lifted up, but I never really pulled.
All right, Seabass, how about you?
No, you're a good boss, man. That's all I got.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. He's acting like. Okay.
All right, Rob, how about you?
Big ol' firefish.
Right, man. I gotta say,
Big ol'.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Rob,
Do you have a
get close.
Get really close to your
Closer,
phone.
Rob. Closer. Closer.
Can't hear you, Rob.
Come on, Maggie, help him. That's all he has to say. Just mouth open. Do that again, Maggie.
I think he's trying.
There it is.
And we're done.
There's laugh.
I think Rob, you might have a case on your phone or something. Something's muffling the sound there, bud. I don't know
Whatever
what it is.
bunker you're in, you're not getting good cell reception.
Rob, you've got to project your voice.
All right. So, Frank, same question for you. What's the number one thing that I do all the time that irritates you the most?
I love it when you do those morning shows and you could be sitting out on the front of the boat in a hurricane. You say, "It's a beautiful day here at Hubbard's Marina."
Yes.
That annoys my wife the most too. I don't know
So
if you
annoying.
can hear.
It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Oh, there's a lightning strike. It just hit the gators.
A beautiful day here in John's Pass.
It's supposed to clear up.
It's still beautiful,
It's gonna
even
get
with the
nice out.
lightning. Oh, I didn't know I did so many irritating things. All right, so I think it is time. I forgot as well. We still have to do our free trip giveaways. So let's see if I can figure that out. Let's see here. I don't know. Facebook keeps changing the way they do these things, so let me see if I can figure it out.
Christmas presents, guys. Christmas next year.
You guys take it away. Let me figure this
You
out.
guys, just stop by in December, about the 20th, and hand me a bottle of this.
What's going on?
What?
Don't worry, Will. I've been shadowing Jason, and your bromance is okay.
Where'd I break into?
So, Jay, tell Sasha that I'll be over later tonight.
Are you gonna take the jet?
What time you got, Will?
Frank.
Oh, who was that stepping out?
Last time.
Ah, Frank,
I
of
want to do
course,
it.
stepping out.
I want to do it, but I can't, right?
Jesus. I don't
And,
know. Sasha, yeah.
And I want to see Amber Exotic's haircut. She hasn't been on here yet.
Where is she? Is she still tied up?
Yeah.
Monkey, is she free yet? Still bound gagged?
All right.
Let's see you
Remember to
check
keep
that.
it PG. PG, guys.
All right, but so I do think Rob won the do of the night. You can't. That hair is so thick on top.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Rabio.
That is a quaff. That is a quaff.
Rob
It's like
does
a
win best quarantine
I want to know
haircut.
who came up with the Rabio thing. That's freaking awesome.
That was Will.
Well,
Oh, Rabio. Yeah.
Ironically, my mom used to call me that.
Rob, we can't hear you, but we're all jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
I've been
mom used to
Rabio.
call you that? That's weird as fuck.
It was. I had a dream about him the other night. Rabio, whatever.
Turn the
Guys,
volume
long
up
story
like-
short. I made it a long story short. Nothing weird. Nothing weird.
All right, so we figured it out, guys. So
Just
we're
two
gonna
guys
go.
eating yogurt.
We're gonna
Yeah,
go ahead and
there
give
we
away
go.
a 5-hour half day for 2 people. A 5-hour half day for 2 people coming at you. Let's see who won a 5-hour half day for 2 people. Ricky Richardson. Hello, what a crew. LOL.
Ricky, where's Ricky?
Dixon.
Ricky Richardson.
Hey.
That is
That's
the
going. That's-
We need a
5-hour
middle
trip
name.
for
We need
2.
a middle name.
Ricardo.
Yes, we need a middle name that starts with an R.
If his middle name starts with an R, he won like $100 gift card too.
Absolutely. If it's triple R's, if that's R cubed, if R cubed is our winner, come on, Raphael. Give me a Raphael in there.
I knew that's Frank's dogs barking. I knew which one to mute right there.
Dang. Kids around.
All right, so let's get back into the questions. We answered like 2 of them so far. We've got like 100,000 to go. So let's see here. Love the new Hubbard's Marina shirts. Wondering if you can get them in cotton t-shirts and long sleeves, not performance material. Yes,
Absolutely.
you can. Very soon. Let me see if I can figure this out. Screen 1. There we go. Nice. I figured it out. So if you go to salinitygear.com, so salinitygear.com, and you click shop,
Does anyone else just have Rob?
and you click the code.
Studying this hard.
No way.
So go to salinitygear.com, click shop COVID-19 Charter Captain Relief, and then click that black shirt. This is our new shirt right here. The Hubbard's Marina special for the COVID-19. You can purchase it right on their website. Again, salinitygear.com to purchase that purchase that brand new shirt. And once we reopen May 1st, we will have those new shirts in cotton, and we'll have them in short sleeves as well. So don't worry, we will have more options for them once we reopen. Next question is, thinking of surprising my husband for a 60th birthday trip to Florida for some fishing. We have no experience at all and just want to catch some fish. What and when would be the best trip option for us? So I think without much experience or any experience offshore, near shore, probably the 5-hour trip would be best. It's always a good idea to start slowly and work your way up. And that's I mean, a private charter too. I mean, you could go on a private charter trip with Captain Sal and First Mate Rob and go private charter fishing. But a 5-hour trip is a great way on the party boat to get your feet wet.
Will left.
Garrett, what was that?
I'm going spotlight because I don't know what's happening.
Wilbo was gone.
What happens on the mountain stays on the mountain.
Right back, North Carolina.
Something is happening over here. I give up.
You're never there, Carol.
Wasn't watching.
I saw the Franks was not bald, and I said, he's big boned. He's not bald, he's big boned, guys. Come on.
This is turning into a.
He's got props, right?
Oh my gosh. This is so ridiculous. Next question. My name is John. What's y'all's favorite go-to setup rod and reel for kingfish? Kingfish. Let's see here.
Rod or conventional?
We're gonna go to. I would go to Rob, but we can't really hear Rob, so we're gonna go to Gene for favorite rod and reel combo for kingfishing.
I personally like spinny reels with a 50-pound braid, nice top shot, and let it float. Let it float. Have a nice strong drag. I like the pin battle 2s. I'm a fan, but I can into some really nice fish with that setup. Nice stinger rig, all the way down. Nice big long top shot, 40-pound, maybe 30-pound. You got it. You got them every day.
What about you, Garrett? What's your favorite setup for kingfish?
Anything that'll hold a planer. I'm only trolling for him.
Classic. When you stop and you're anchor fishing, you're only bottom fishing for grouper and snapper, huh?
I mean, if I'm going to throw out a flat line for a kingfish, a spinning rod. just because you can get the bait out further, and it's just a lot easier for most people to handle, and the drags are generally better.
Spinning rod for the flat line. All right.
Size, I mean.
With a bait runner or no bait runner?
He's running for bait.
Spinning rod. We'll leave it at that. You guys can get into the fancy shit.
Yes, bait runner.
Where'd that came, right?
So, Will, you're going to have to explain what a bait runner is.
It's like a clicker on a conventional reel, which either one will work, but either you're going to hook the kingfish in full drag, and sometimes they break you off that way, or you can hook him when he's on a pre-spool clicker, or a bait runner is what it is, the version for a spinning reel. There it is. And as soon as you start reeling on a spinning reel, that clicks over, and then you got him on full drag. Boom. And that is the easiest way to catch a kingfish right there.
And they made those reels about
Richie, you just had that? You just had that?
He's got it ready to go. Yeah, he just wheeled right over and grabbed it.
He just wheeled right over. Yeah. Where did you pull that out of? Somebody else too?
Is everything...
Richie nailed it right there, guys. That's what you want. He showed you a Shimano bait runner.
Is everything on a wheel in your office, Richie?
When you get older, you learn how to live.
Everything's on wheels in his office.
He wheels right out to the truck in the morning. Frank, you could learn a thing or two from him.
Frank, what's your favorite rod and reel setup for king fishing?
Well, I'll tell you, Dylan. I like to do it a few different ways. Like Garrett said, the spinning rod thing is, that's the way I like to go. But unfortunately, on those big party boats, you get a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. And when we hook into them with a spinning rod, they just crank and crank and crank and twist the line all up. So we tend to like those what are they, Ocean Masters that you've been giving us for the last couple of years. Those
there you go, Gold Star Ocean Master by Bass Pro Shops. You got
Goku Masters.
Those just that type of reel works better.
Hey, Frank's been here before.
They don't know what they're doing. Whereas a spinning rod, I use a spinning rod for the kingfish for myself, but if I'm trying to set up a little kid or somebody that hasn't ever used one before, the conventional reels, they can crank and crank and crank, and we don't have to worry about them.
By the light.
Yeah, conventional reels have more line capacity too. So when you're flatlining from a party boat, it definitely makes it a lot easier with line capacity if you've got a conventional reel, because you've got more braided line in that reel. But if you got a big spinning reel with plenty of braided line in it, then you're not so worried about that line capacity issue. But I definitely like those little conventional reels for flatlining for that reason, just because you have more line capacity. And if you get a big fish, like occasionally, I know on a 12-hour snapper trip a couple years ago, they hooked an 88-pound wahoo just completely out of the blue, pretty much by happenstance on a flat line, and they wouldn't have landed that unless they had a lot of line capacity in that reel. So it definitely helps to have some line capacity in your flatline reel, whether it's a spinning reel or a conventional reel. Garrett, did you have a guest we need to introduce there, bud?
He might run. Yeah.
He ran.
Get in bed.
Hubbard parenting.
I think they're watching Dumbo right now.
Garrett loves being a stay-at-home dad, don't you?
Oh, dude.
Greatest thing.
Yeah.
Carry hands right there in
Go to the house, disinfect my wife when she comes home.
Pull a hose down in the mud room.
It's because she works at a hospital, guys. Don't get the wrong ideas. All right, so the next question is, I'm relatively new to Florida.
Ron.
Wait a minute. So I'm relatively new from Florida. What's the biggest difference between saltwater and freshwater fishing? Will, I'll let you take this one.
The biggest
The
difference
lifetime
in
of the
saltwater and freshwater fishing is that
The lifetime of the outboards.
yes, your boat will not last as long in the saltwater as it will in the freshwater. And the catfish, they don't taste the same in the saltwater as they do in the freshwater either.
Think about the first time your dad brought you to Florida to go saltwater fishing.
Yeah, we didn't know what we had it down. We caught 11 different species of fish that night.
I thought you were sick the whole time.
And I was seasick the whole time.
You were seasick the whole time you went saltwater fishing the first time?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But no, the biggest difference in saltwater and freshwater fishing, I would say the biggest difference is you don't know what you're going to catch in saltwater. You kind of know what you're going to catch in freshwater. You know?
Found flatheads left and right.
Yeah, dude, I knew I had that flathead today. No, I had no idea. I had no idea until we saw it. No idea whatsoever.
And when you first saw it, you thought it was a 40-pounder.
Yeah, now we were like 40 pounds.
It broke that 8-pound deciliter like nothing.
All right, so the next question is for James Exotic. You ready, buddy?
Yep.
Damn.
So the next question is, does sardine oil work on fish like it does tigers?
There's an ass.
Well, I mean, if you spend
There she is.
money, it will work. I mean,
Oh, that's
truthfully,
his
I
daughter,
just like
Frank.
the thread fins just because they're cheaper. The sardine oil, I mean, it's great. You don't spend the extra money, but if you're cheap like me, it ain't gonna happen.
So threadfin oil.
What about manhattan oil?
I mean, KY makes real nice oil.
If you want it to work, what do you use?
I don't use oil. I mean, 15 W40. I mean, that's about it.
What kind of product you put in your
E30
hair?
for the strands. I mean, ZF takes the SC30, so. I don't
He
really
puts 30 weight in that sucker, and he turns the motor on.
Hey, Will. All right, so Will, can you tell the story of the menhaden oil? The menhaden oil that was floating around the dock for a while. Can you tell some of the stories?
No, we had some clam.
Clam oil.
Oh no!
Clam concentrate. And it made Smokey throw up on contact.
Tell the story. How many times did you make Smokey throw up?
Smokey threw up a few times on this clam concentrate we had. After he threw up one time, every time he smelled it, he would throw up. And he was down in the engine room one day, and we poured it in the water, and he smelled it through the intake, through the exhaust through there, and threw up in the engine room. So yeah, Smokey didn't like the clam too much, but Mikey, I think he's gone now, but Mikey found it appetizing.
Hey Garrett, were you there for the clam juice? You were around for that, right?
Yes.
What was
Mikey
one of the
liked
funny
it.
stories
Mikey
you remember?
enjoyed it.
Ha 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 ha.
Do you remember one of the funny stories?
That's my Native American law.
I just remember it sitting underneath that fish cleaning table for a long, long time.
In the sun.
Everyone broke out.
You could pour a little bit out. We would pour a little bit out every now and then, and let it sit around, and people noticed.
It was the most ineffective fishing juice.
Yeah, I think James Exotic ended up taking it home and cooking with it.
That may have been what he fed his employees in the soup.
And then he ended up with 2 kids like 2 years later, you know.
Them
All
are
right.
an aphrodisiac.
Frank, do you remember it?
He called it an aphrodisiac.
That's what it is.
Do you remember the clam juice, Frank?
Oh, it was awful. There's nothing else. There's no other way to put it. It was the most awful, wretched smell that you could ever imagine. It's
Oh my
it makes me puke. Like
There it is, Will. Get it,
Who
Will.
asked me for my clam?
All right, so
Yeah, damn.
I remember the clam juice as myself, and one of the things that I remember about it was that, especially when they threw it away because they were trying to get rid of the clam juice, because my dad got really pissed off about this clam juice being spread everywhere and making everybody throw up. So they eventually threw it away in the garbage compactor. So the gallon jug of clam juice went into the garbage compactor, and then the compactor closed and squirted this clam juice everywhere, and the garbage smelled so bad that the police showed up. I don't know if anybody else remembers that, but it was that bad. So I appreciate the sardine oil question. It was definitely, it brought up a lot of good memories of the clam oil.
It was a 5 gallon. It was a 5 gallon clam juice.
Where did that come from? Who brought that?
My dad brought it down.
Your dad brought it down.
It was in storage for eight years.
Yeah, but it was bad. Putrid.
Hey, Will, you know what popped up today on Facebook?
Who
Your
dat?
dad's boat sunk in front of Hubbard. That's today.
Wait, what?
Whenever Will's dad's boat, him and the wife sunk it in front of the Hubbards. Remember the sand? It was halfway underwater. That was today.
We went back out there.
All right,
and Dad
Will,
was holding the
you're
rope to
telling
the boat.
that story.
My dad was holding the rope. He was holding the rope to the boat, and the boat was completely sunk.
I remember that.
And he's sitting there holding the rope.
son.
Will, I remember that story. You're gonna have to tell that story to everybody. So, Will, go ahead with that story.
Yeah, I forgot. You forget to put the plug in the boat sometimes, you know. I'm guessing that's what happened. And so we left my dad there with the boat, came back at 10 to 15 minutes later. My dad's standing there on the beach, still holding the boat like he was, but the boat is sunk underwater, motor, everything, shit floating. And I think we got a come along. We found a come along out of the garage, come along this thing up on the beach, and dried the motor out. It's not there anymore, so we got it going and got it out of there. I don't remember the details to it, but we sunk a boat right there in the Hubbard slip one time.
I remember.
He remembers it better. He was more sober than I was, I bet.
I definitely remember it a lot better than Will does, apparently. But what had happened is in the dolphin boat slip, they had pulled up from fishing. They went out fishing for fun. Will Weeze, his brother, and his dad had went out fishing for fun in this little John boat. They go out fishing. Maybe they were on their way out fishing, I forget, but either they had gone out fishing and came back, or they were going out fishing and stopped at the marina to get bait. They pulled up to the slip. They tied this boat off. Will and Weeze walked away to go to the office or to go do something. They came back, and his dad is standing there holding the rope to this boat that is completely underwater, just completely sunk in the slip. Nope. And it was a little bit of a fiasco because the dolphin boat didn't have anywhere to pull in. And they figured it out. Later that day, I think it took them like all of a couple hours to get the boat out of the water, get the motor dried out, get it started. They drove the boat home. So it was impressive how they recovered from that total fiasco.
My dad is not the best boater. He's not the best boater in the world. I won't lie to you guys.
Oh, it's so funny. Let's see here. What's the next question? Where is Smokey and Dusty? I've been fishing with them since like 2003. Smokey is currently in Gainesville hanging out with his son at college because Smokey restored a boat this past week. He spent a lot of his off time restoring this boat. So he restored a boat, slapped a motor on it. He went to Gainesville and he's cruising the river fishing for bass with his son. And Dusty tried to join earlier. He was here and then he left. I don't know what happened. So Dusty was here for a minute, but Smokey's out of town.
Smokey's got that stump knocker looking good.
Yeah. Smokey spent a lot of time on that boat, and it looks really classy. He sent me a video of it today, riding around the river. It looks
He took
really
out all
good.
the rod holders.
Yeah, he needs to add rod holders. That's what
Dude,
he's
we
working
need to
on.
go camping. We need to go camping up there before we get back to work.
Yeah, I'm
next
ready.
week.
Good idea.
I'm coming back like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, somewhere. And then the
Never
next
go
week,
camping with a man that had a beard like that.
let's do it, dude. I'll take care of Jason. You know?
All right, so it is time to give away our 10-hour all day for 2 people. It's a 10-hour all day for 2 guests. Let's see who won that 10-hour all day for 2 people. Uh-oh.
Damien.
I clicked out of it. Darn it.
Money got it?
It was
That's
Tyler
that drink.
Huffman from Wesley
That drink
Chapel.
got you.
Tyler Huffman from Wesley
Jenny's
Chapel.
watching.
I feel like we know Tyler.
It was just like
All right, so Tyler Huffman from Wesley Chapel is the lucky winner on the 10-hour all day. We are pretty much out of time. I know we didn't get to very many questions tonight, but I think it was pretty entertaining. I don't know. Seabass, you were gone for like a long time, and now you're back all of a sudden, and it's very light in there.
Very.
Yeah. That's a good shower.
Where's too bad?
Wait, you went and took a shower and put on the same shirt?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a lame.
Representing.
Are you on the
bro,
patio, Bass?
He's
What's
on
that?
somebody's patio.
Are you living on the porch?
Makeup over that black eye.
I don't know what I'm about. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but you guys, I'll tell you later.
And we're muting him. All right, so I appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. That is just about it for our live show. I do want to make one announcement real quick. We talked about those new Salinity shirts. You can get them at, again, salinitygear.com. Just simply search, again, salinitygear.com, click shop, and then click the COVID-19 Charter Captain Relief. Click that black Hubbard's Marina Mahi shirt. Purchase them while you can. Also, don't forget the Hubbard's Marina gift certificates. They are 20% off right now. You can check out that 20% off gift certificate by just going to our website, click in store, click gift certificates. Once you're on the gift certificate page, all you have to do is click this blue button that says buy gift certificates, and then use coupon code Hubbards for 20% off your gift certificate. That deal is running all the way through the end of this month. And again, every Thursday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., the office is open over the phone if you want to call us and buy a gift certificate over the phone. Also, don't forget that we have our red snapper season starting. I'm going to have to just stop everybody else's video. Don't forget red snapper season starts June 1st and runs through August 1st, end of day, guys. So hopefully you can join us for red Hopefully you can join us for red snapper season. June 1st through end of day, August 1st.
Best.
And with that, I don't know what else to say other than we got to give away our free overnight trip. So for putting up with us tonight,
Tiny nipples.
I did have kind of tiny nipples. Thank you. Thank you, Monkey.
oh man, this coronavirus thing is not what's gonna kill me. All right, so a free overnight trip for one person, a 39-hour fishing trip for one guest, absolutely free. Let's see who won that trip.
Bingo!
Where's Rob? Take your shirt off, Rob.
Michael Matson Sr. Michael Matson Sr. Remember, if you're picked as the lucky winner, you do have to text us, and that number in the upper right-hand corner, that's 727-393-1947. Text us your name, your home address within 10 minutes. That makes you eligible to win those free trips. appreciate everybody tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate you tuning in and dealing with it. Garrett's getting shirtless now too.
What about Sasha? Jay,
He's
where's
doing
Sasha?
See you guys.